Which distro I'm using right now? I'm using NixOS. Looks cool. So I guess what's the elevator pitch to Nix? It is a language, it is a package manager, and it is an operating system. These three separate entities, by their powers combined, become the Nix that we kind of hear about a lot. You know what I mean? And so I use the OS and the package manager and everything on my VM. And then on Darwin or my MacBook, I use just the package manager. So I use Nix across the board, right? I use Nix for everything now, basically. Nix is like kind of the thing I want. So you use OS that you created. Not technically, but kind of technically. NixOS is an operating system truly on its own. It's its own operating system built off of the Linux kernel, you know, all that kind of business. However, it is powered entirely by your configuration. So if you can't even install Nix operating system without having some type of basic configuration. Now, to give you a better example of this, let's SSH into one of my servers. Now, this is an actual server on my network somewhere. And if I sudo into this and I do cd etc, what I'm going to etc into is NixOS. And in this folder, we will see a configuration.nix file. And look, it's at my actual configuration of my whole operating system. So we have hardware configurations in here, what my hardware looks like, disks, network interfaces, all that kind of stuff. And then we have everything else. So I set up systemd backups. We actually have backups that run AWS CLI. So you can see I've got my boot set to a specific set of latest kernel packages. Like I can even tell it what version of kernel packages I want. I've got a file system mount here, even packages, right? Look at this. System packages with packages, vim, wget. This is how we install packages to the operating system. We don't apt-get blah blah, apt-get blah blah, apt-get blah blah. We don't do that. It's declared. So we just simply say, this is what you have. And look, firewall. How do I enable the firewall? Bam, networking, firewall, enable, done. I am showing you the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, these are just JSON-like values. I showed it to you in the sense of there's a configuration for your host, and it does everything for you. Well, Nix doesn't just do it on the operating system level. You saw it from a NixOS level. But what I'm showing you now is it from a package level of now I want to just build one specific package that I could install on that NixOS operating system. So Nix traverses every layer of the stack. It builds the packages for you. It allows you to ship those packages with its package manager, and then it allows you to install those packages onto hosts using either the package manager or NixOS operating system. When we talk about like what it has control over, it has control over the base, it has control over the packages, it has control over the package manager, and it has control over the operating system optionally as well. I would love to go into it more, but go check out the YouTube. The reason why I say that is because I actually went through a whole series on Nix where I talk about the basics of the language, development shell, and input patterns. I talk about introduction steps into Nix in this series. Also, chat, listen, we have a Discord full of Nix people and people who are interested and want to learn Nix. If you guys want to check that stuff out, I highly recommend it.